Hello, everyone. This is Albums with Aaron, episode 1. And today I just want to walk you guys through one of my songs I've been working on. It's called Bouncy Ball currently. I just don't have a name for it right yet. When I do, I will name it appropriately, but for right now, I just name them random stuff. But anyway, today I will just walk you guys through what I can do, what I've been doing, and some of the cool stuff that you can do as a music producer. So I'm just gonna jump right into it with the intro of this song, and then I will come back and sort of walk through everything, show you guys how I do all of it, and then we'll just progress through the song. So here's the intro. Sorry for the duck in volume there. I had to adjust some things. But that's the intro. So in the start, I use a basic bass line. Really, really basic melody with a plugin called Massive. It's by a company called Native Instruments. It's a really neat plugin. They use what are called oscillators. They're little sine waves of different shapes and pitches and layer them together in order to make the sound that you want. It's really, really cool. So I start off with that and just a basic hi-hat loop. No big deal. Excuse me for the coughing. Then when we get into the build-up, I'm using a pluck synth. This one's also by Massive. And then I use a side chaining plugin called Kickstart. It's by Nicky Romero. He's excuse me. He's a EDM artist in the industry. You might have heard of his stuff. It's really, really good. If you haven't heard his stuff, check him out. Name's right there. And what this does is it ducks the sound that is coming out. So if I turn this plugin off, it sounds like this. Just like that. Same basic melody, only an octave higher than the bass line. And so with this side chaining, if I turn it on, you'll be able to see the waveform right here and see how it ducks. So I'll turn it all the way off. Not ducking at all. It's all even all the way across. Now if I crank it up to 85, it's got that pulse. So 100% is like this. And right at that area, it gets really, really slim. I don't want it to duck all the way and be silent, so I have it at about 85%. Then it gets sort of that pulse vibe that you really, really like in dancey type of songs. Then I lead in with this melody. And I actually use a sampler for this. And what a sampler is what a sampler is it is a tool that you can use to record any sound that you want. You can plug it in here, and then you click this little button right here, this keyboard, and you can play any note. So I can be way up here, or I can be way down here. But the original is this. And it's just on a loop. But then I can pitch it, so. So it's pretty cool. Then I added some reverb just to sort of get things airy, and then a EQ just to cut out the white noise. That lead sort of comes into the main drop, which you'll hear in a minute. The last thing is this offbeat bass that comes in. This is really, really important in this song. I have a mid octave and a low octave offbeat bass, and when I say offbeat, it is what it says, offbeat. So if you have a metronome and you're just listening to it, so it's just on the beat. Now listen to it with the offbeat bass. So it really, really complements the lead when it comes in. It really gets you wanting to jump up and down. So it sort of is there to keep a pulse, keep a beat, keep that breath that's coming in and out. Now for the drop. So you have your build up. So yeah, that's the drop. So with this lead in that I explained in the intro, that is the same instrument that comes in for the melody. Only this time it has that kickstart sidechaining plugin, so it gets that pulse. And then it also has a complementary track. It is like a big soft synth, also by Massive, and it just really fills out the track. So yeah, and that melody there, it's fairly complicated, but it's all just one note. It's not any chord structure or anything like that, which is sometimes nice to go more simplistic than complicated. And then later in the drop, there's another bass, only this one is a low octave. But same thing, and then this is the important part. We have a kick. So this kick, if I were to take this side chaining off, would sound like this. Really, really, really heavy kick. And so what I did was, if you see the waveform here, it takes up that entire space. So when I play it with the bass line, it sounds all muddy because the kick is playing while the bass is popping in. So it sounds all muddy and there's a lot of interference. So I put a side chain on it at 100% in order to play here on the downbeat and then cut out completely so that that bass line can come in for the offbeat. So then it sounds more clean and clear like this. So I think that is pretty neat, and it really, really drives the song. on top of the lead, it really, really gets you hyped. So here it is again. So yeah, pretty basic. Then we come to the fall. So I really, really like this synth. This is one of my favorite synths. Again, a Massive preset. I love Massive. It's so versatile for all sorts of sounds. And then I have this Sonar come in, and this is really, really cool as well. Just sort of to pick things up. Now, a lot of you guys might have recognized this weird vocal type of sound, and you guys are right, it is a vocal sound. Also sampler. This is the original. Really, really basic, just this is actually me. I recorded this. I forgot what I was saying. I think I was saying bounce, and then I just cut the ow out of it and lowered it an octave, so then it just sounds like that. Really, really basic. And then I put a bunch of effects on it. I put reverb, I put a sidechain, I put a compressor, and just a basic DMG or DJM filter. The compressor just keeps it all controlled so it doesn't get really loud and then really soft. That's basically all a compressor does, is it compresses the sound. And so I have this filter, this automated filter come in, and it just sort of comes in as like an intro thing, because I will then use that vocal chop as a drop melody later in the song. And it's really, really cool to use a sound as sort of an intro and a sound as a drop. So I did it at the beginning with this lead up here, and now I'm doing it with the vocal lead as well. And then for percussion, I have another clap. Really, really basic clap. No big fancy clap or anything. I don't even have any effects on it. I liked it the way it was. Excuse me. And then I have this offbeat mid bass come in again. So yeah. Oh yeah, and I have this chord going on right here. Same basic melody, but it really helps to intro everything. And then I'll let you guys listen to this. Oh, what happened there? Here we go. Let's try that again. So what's happening right here is I have this sort of tranquil, melodic type of mood going on, and then at this point when the kick comes in, a different type of kick, a really short, plucky kick comes in, or punchy kick, this is when I'm building that tension, that energy again for the second time. And this is also where I really bring out this lead and change the melody. So before, it sounds like this. And now, at the drop, it changes melody to the basic lead. And it's a lot louder, really, really cuts through the mix. And so at this point, I'm really building up. I also have a new like long clap instead of a short clap that comes in as well. Whoops. Just to sort of build the energy and keep things moving. So this is one of the coolest parts. I love doing this all the time in all my songs. You'll find it in almost every song. Is I take this long clap that I let you guys listen to earlier, and excuse me, and I slice it up to make it smaller and smaller and shorter and shorter and shorter. And then with that, I use this plugin. It's by a company called Waves. They're really, really prestigious. They make really nice plugins. And I use this thing called pitch shifter or sound shifter. And what I can do is I can take this pitch and this pitch slider and automate it to automatically move and change the pitch. So here's just soloed. So that's normal in the middle right here. And then it'll go up. So it's really, really good for builds and downers as well. It's just a sweet, really, really neat plugin. And then that's the build up, and then it comes into a second drop. Now in this drop we have this vocal in here now instead of the first drop we didn't have it. And the point of this was really just to get some diversity in the mix and get people even more psyched out of their minds than they were in the first drop. And you'll hear you'll hear in the second part of the drop there's actually chords that are played by the vocal. There's actually chords played by the vocal chop, and it's really, really cool. So here it goes. So it really, really thickens out that bass line a lot. So I really, really, really like that. It, again, brings diversity to the mix. And then at the very end of the drop, it goes into another downfall. This time, the downfall isn't a melodic, tranquil type of steady section, but it's another immediate build-up into the last drop, the big drop, the one that lasts the longest and adds even more stuff to it. So I'll let you guys listen to it. So there's a bunch of cool stuff going on. First of all, I bring in the same clap as the intro, which is really, really cool. I think I really enjoy bringing back stuff that people forget about in the beginning of the song and bringing it back just to be like, wow, oh yeah, I remember that. So just that really basic hi-hat, but it really does really push the song. I love it. Then right here I have 3 different leads all stacked on top of each other. One is the lead pluck that you heard at the beginning of the song, and then sonar, which you heard, and then the vocal chop as well. Now, with all three of these, you can see this automation throughout all these, and I love doing this. It's a plugin called DJM Filter, and what it does is it takes the sound that you're getting from your synth, and it takes off all the high-end it takes off all the high-end sound. If you put it down here on the low pass filter, LP is low pass, or it takes off all the low end if you put it up here at the high pass, HP. And so I can automate this as well in order to get a sort of cloud effect at the beginning and then really widen up and to fill the mix for the drop. So here is it in action. I'll just solo all the leads. So I really like that effect. I love doing it. It's really easy to build up a lot of energy when you're doing a show or whatever. You can talk in this time, or you can lead a clap, and it's really cool. And then after that, I leave it really open. There's nothing else playing in this entire mix, except for like a really basic transition, white noise, except for this vocal chop. And that's just to sort of give the crowd this breath right before it drops really hard, and then it goes directly into the drop. So that's really cool. Then it's a normal drop until it gets to measure 105, when the vocal chops stop and a new melody comes in. This is called the wobble. I created this one myself. All the other massive sounds were presets, but this one I created by myself. I create a couple in every single song, but sometimes when I'm just going through and searching for sounds, I'll run across one that I like, and I'll just add effects to it instead of actually designing a sound from the ground up. But this one I did. I really wanted this unique sound, so here it is. So it's this wobble type of effect, really gritty. I really like it. And so it comes in after the vocal chop dies out. So here's the transition. And at this point, there's another lead that comes in. And it's actually harmonizing with the notes. So it's the same melody, but instead of playing, it's playing. So it sounds like this. So it's lower actually than the normal lead. It's just a harmonizing track. It's really nice for filling out sound and giving people more unique and different musical melody, I guess you would say, in the last half of the drop. And that is the rest of the song. I really like the end here where I have everything playing up to the last half bar, and then I cut everything out except for the leads. Just to sort of end the song with a bang instead of doing a doom type of bass fall, which is pretty basic. I think a lot of people overuse it. So I just decided to do this really basic as well, but it's not common. So yeah, this is the song. If you guys have any suggestions on the name of it, please leave it in the comment section. I name things on how I sort of feel after listening to the song and what it sort of gives me. I named this Bouncy Ball because the vocal chop that I used, I said bounce. And so, yeah, you guys just let me know. In the future, I'm going to be walking through some more songs, different genres. So, not just EDM like this one is, but I'm going to be doing some tropical house and some pop songs. I think I'm going to do a bluegrass song. So yeah, come back, and if you guys have any remixes, any songs that you want remixed by me, please leave that in the comment section below as well. I'm going to do a couple remixes for you guys, so just let me know what you guys want. Give me suggestions. I'll pick a couple and do a couple remixes and show you guys how you do that as well. So yeah, thanks for listening. This is Albums with Aaron, episode 1.